Imagine for a moment everything you know to be true, everything you believe to be right or wrong, good or evil, was merely an illusion. An illusion carefully crafted by society, philosophy, and religion. What if the truth you hold so dear is in fact a construct shaped by society instead of an undeniable reality? One morning, I stumbled across Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil. Little did I know opening this book would forever change how I view knowledge, objectivity, and reality itself. In these pages, Nietzsche exposed a fundamental flaw in how we, as humans, pursue knowledge. He argued that objectivity, the state of being purely factual and unbiased, was all an illusion. Is it possible to scrutinize the long-standing belief that truth is something fixed and undiscoverable? Can we challenge the ideas from philosophers who claim to uncover objective truths, exposing their inherent biases and the dogmatic assumptions that draw their conclusions? The concept of perspectivism suggests that all truths are merely perspectives, shaped by individual experiences, cultural influences, and subconscious biases. In other words, there's no singular absolute truth, only many competing viewpoints. As Nietzsche said in his book, the renunciation of false opinions would be a renunciation of life, a negation of life. This statement argues that life runs on these certain false opinions, and rejecting them would be detrimental to our existence. This realization is both liberating and unsettling. If truth is relative, then how do you know what's right? If good and evil are subjective constructs, then how do you navigate morality? How do you navigate morality? Our moral absolutes have been imposed to us, not as inherent truths, but as tools for control and order. We are conditioned to accept these truths without question. Yet, Nietzsche urges us to break free from this passive acceptance and critically analyze the very foundation of our beliefs. Knowledge is always shaped by context, interpretation, and perspective. The moment we claim to possess an objective truth, we have already introduced our own bias. However, this does not mean that truth does not exist, only that we, as humans, have colored it with our own prejudices. Think about history. The specific events leading up to World War II are subjective through different perspectives. Usually, historical events are altered through the perspective of those who came out victorious. The way we understand past events is through the perspective of those who recorded them. Science too is subject to human interpretation. What we see as fact today may be revised tomorrow with new scientific discoveries. Although scientific information can be possible to be objective, it is hardly possible because scientific attractions add a layer to the argument of reaching knowledge and the acquisition of knowledge. A specific example is how planets were originally defined as moving lights throughout the sky. However, new information had led more requirements to being a planet, categorizing Pluto as a dwarf planet. This reclassification not only sparked controversy in the scientific community, but it perfectly showed how objectivity is limited when producing knowledge. As days go by, even our daily interactions are filtered through individual experiences and cultural conditioning. The world is not divided into absolutes of good and evil, right or wrong, but rather it's a complex spectrum of perspectives. So, what does this mean for us now? Should we abandon the pursuit of knowledge altogether? Absolutely not. Instead, we must acknowledge our biases and embrace a more critical, dynamic approach to knowledge. We must be willing to question, to challenge, to recognize that truth is not a fixed destination, but rather a journey shaped by perspective. Only then can we move beyond good and evil, beyond the expectations we have set for so long, and move into a world of deeper understanding. Thank you, everyone.